Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Hayden B Grilling. Now today we're going to be here in the grilling shack that was made possible by the folks at Barton's. But today we're going to be using the smoker, and we're going to smoke one rack of ribs, and then tomorrow we're going to smoke 2 racks of ribs. I'm going to compile this all into one video, but we're looking for some very tasty but different ribs. So let's get started. Be smoking these with the Z-Grills hickory pellets. Folks, the hickory, in my opinion, for me, is about the best all-around pellet that you can use. It's great for a variety of cooks, so I like to stick with that hickory. All right, first thing we're going to do, we're going to raise the lid on our Z-Grills, and we're going to turn the power on. We're going to hit that smoke cycle. As soon as the smoke cycle is complete, we're going to set it for 225 degrees. All right, folks, we got our rack of ribs laying here. First thing I'm gonna do, take me some paper towels. I'm just gonna go through and just kind of pat it dry-ish. About like that. Then we're gonna flip it over and do the other side as well. All right, now on this side is the side that's got that membrane on it, that thin layer there. So what I'm gonna use the handle of a spoon. I'm just gonna kind of work my spoon in here to get underneath that and try to pry it up a little bit, so that way I got enough room to get my fingers underneath there. And once I get to that point, I'm just gonna start pulling, and we're gonna remove this membrane here. All right, folks, we just got that membrane removed best we can. So what we're gonna do now, we're just gonna come in with some regular old yellow mustard. I'm gonna squirt that over the rib. That's gonna be my binder. I'm just gonna smear that all over the ribs here. Get it along the sides. There we go. And then, while we got this side going, we're gonna go ahead and, today we're gonna be using Granny Moore's Good Rub, the only rub you'll ever need. So now we got our binder on it, we're gonna come in with our Granny Moore's, and we're gonna season these pretty heavy. You want a good flavor profile on your ribs. Now, how heavy or how light, that's up to you, but with ribs, I like to go a little heavy there. There we go. And we're gonna flip them over, and we're gonna repeat that same step. Right, folks, our smoker's sitting pretty at 225 degrees. We're gonna raise the lid, try to be as quick as I can about it, but we're gonna grab our rack of ribs here. I'm gonna get them down on the smoker. Good thing I'm trying to be quick, huh? There we go, we got it positioned perfectly right dead in the center. We're gonna shut the lid and we're gonna let this go just the way it is for an hour and a half. So we just hit an hour and a half. We're gonna raise the lid, and what we're gonna do, we're just gonna give these ribs a good little spritz in here. We're gonna lower it back down, let them go for another hour and a half. What we used to spritz them with here, it was just equal parts apple juice and white wine vinegar. Alrighty, folks, we just hit an hour and a half, a total of 3 hours. We're gonna raise the lid. Oh man, this something's smelling good. All right, but we're gonna get them off the grate here, and we're gonna take them inside for the next step. Almost forgot. We got the lid closed. We're gonna bump our heat up to 250. Now we're gonna take them inside for the next step. All right, folks, so we got these in the house now. I've got 2 large sheets of aluminum foil laid out. What I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna come right along here and spread me out some brown sugar. No set amount for this, just kind of eyeball it, all right? Put this brown sugar here, kind of crumble it a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe just a little more here. All right, now we got this brown sugar down. Come in with 4 tablespoons of butter. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Next thing we're gonna do is come in with a just jar of honey, nothing fancy. And pour me some honey right along the top here of my butter and my brown sugar. Again, no measurement, just eyeball it. Next thing we're gonna do, come in with just some regular old Sweet Baby Ray's original barbecue sauce. Come on. We're just gonna squirt us a little bit of barbecue sauce right along the top here. Now, I'm gonna set them ribs right over the top of that. Try to give it a little mashy mash. Then we're gonna come over the top of that. We're gonna sprinkle us a little bit more of our brown sugar along the top of the ribs here. Now, we're not gonna do the butter on the top. Just brown sugar it. And I'm gonna come back with that Sweet Baby Ray's. Kind of drizzle me some Sweet Babies right along the top here. Right, now comes time for the fun part. So we're gonna take our aluminum foil, we're gonna fold it up over the rib, pull it tight. There you go. And we're gonna come over it with this side. There you go. And then on these ends here, just kind of fold it over once, about like that. Then we'll fold it over again. Same thing on this side, fold it over. And we'll come up and over. All right, and then our second sheet, pretty well do the same thing. Up and over, fold this side over it. Just like that. Then on these, the ends here, I'm just gonna bring them straight over like this. There we go. All right, like I said, folks, we're at 250 degrees. We're gonna set this dude back on the smoker with the fold side up, close the lid, let it go for another 3 hours. All right, folks, we just hit 3 hours. We're gonna raise the lid. Ooh, the smell coming out of there. All right, so we're gonna get this on the tray. We're gonna get these dudes in the house. We'll see you there. Now here comes time for my favorite part when doing ribs. We're gonna unwrap them, and as you unwrap them, you can smell the ribs, the seasoning, the sauces, all coming out of this aluminum foil. And folks, I'm telling you, it smells amazing. Let's get this unfolded and take a look at these dudes. Yes, that's what we're looking for right there. Now we're going to start cutting into these ribs so that way I can cut them into individual pieces. But you can see here as I'm cutting into it, the ribs are falling apart. They're so tender. Look, just pull the bone right out. Folks, we're gonna give a little taste test of this rib here. And I tried holding it up, but the meat all fell apart, fell off the bone. So here we go with it. Folks, that's dang good. Very tender, juicy, full of flavor from the Granny Moore's rub that we put on it. The barbecue sauce, the brown sugar, it just all goes together perfect. Hey folks, welcome back to Hayden B Grilling. Now this morning, we're about to fire up the smoker for day 2 of the rib cook-off. Not cook-off, but anyways, so we're gonna fire up the smoker, and I'm gonna bring y'all back when we go inside because we're gonna do everything the same, except we're gonna use some different seasonings today on the ribs. So, all right folks, so this rack of ribs here, I'm just gonna put seasoning on them. We're not gonna come back with barbecue sauce later, but we're gonna use the Granny Moore's Gang Steer. I'm curious how it will do on some ribs. So we're just gonna season this side, then we're gonna flip it over, use our mustard binder on the other side, and then season the other. All right, the seasoning we're gonna use for this rack of ribs is Hot for Preacher. Last time I used this, I kept calling it Hot for Preacher. It's not Hot for Preacher, it's Hot for Preacher. But we're just gonna add this on here. Season that up pretty nice and thoroughly. All right, folks, so we've hit that 225. We're gonna raise the lid real quick. We're gonna do just like we did yesterday. We're gonna slide these ribs on. There we go. We're gonna shut the lid and we're gonna let it go for an hour and a half. All right, folks, we just hit an hour and a half. We're gonna raise the lid just like we did yesterday. We're gonna give these ribs a good spritzing. Again, this is equal parts apple juice, white wine vinegar. All right, we're gonna lower the lid. We're gonna let these go for another hour and a half. All right, folks, so like yesterday, with my first rack of ribs here, I'm gonna lay me some brown sugar down. There we go. I think that's a good amount. And then we're gonna lay them 4 pads, a tablespoon apiece, of butter down onto the brown sugar. Now that we got our brown sugar and our butter, I'm gonna come in with a little bit of honey. Like I said yesterday, there's no measurement on this, just your preference. Lay some honey in, and then we're gonna take the first rack, which was the Granny Moore's Gangster. We're gonna lay that down, just kind of give it a little mash down there. Now for this rack here, I'm not applying any barbecue sauce or anything. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna sprinkle me some brown sugar along the top of it here. Just about like that. Kind of crumble it up. There we go. All right, now for this rack of ribs, I went ahead and got my brown sugar, my butter, and honey down. What I'm gonna do is I just kind of want to turn these edges up a little bit. Kind of make like a little, I want to kind of dam it off a little. Kind of like that. And we're gonna lay our ribs down on the brown sugar. Kind of give it a little mashy mash. And then I just want to kind of fold the edges up like a, this ain't gonna be the permanent way. But what we're gonna do now, because this is one we use that hot for peacher, right? So now I'm gonna come in with some peach crown. I'm just gonna kind of pour me a little bit over the top. There we go. There we go. No measurement on that. All right, I just want to wrap this over just like we did the ovens. Now with that peach crown, folks, we were just getting the flavor off of that. As it cooks, it will cook that alcohol content out. We're just getting the flavor from it. All right, so like yesterday, when we pulled our ribs off to take them inside, I went ahead and bumped my heat up to 250 degrees. Now we're gonna take these ribs, lay them back on the smoker. Sorry, I blocked the camera. And we're gonna let them dudes sit just like that for another 3 hours. All right, folks, so the ribs we're unwrapping first. These are the just seasoning ribs, the Gangster, no sauce. Well, we're gonna open this up, take a look at it here, and I'm telling y'all, ooh, they looking good. Hey, this is the just the naked rib, no sauce, just seasoning. We're gonna do a quick bite of this, see how it tastes. It's really hot. That's a dang good rib. Now that's rib option number 2 here. We're gonna call it B. That was just naked, just seasoning, no barbecue sauce, nothing. So now we're about to do a taste test of the old whiskey, the Peach Crown ribs. All right, now these are the ones I was more interested about. We're gonna unwrap the Peach Crown ribs here. There we go with it. Folks, it's got a very good smell. It smells so good. Look at them. Oh.
Get back. No.
I said, let me go.
No.
I called her, let me go.
There they are.
She said, she did.
So this is low-key the one I've been most excited about. This is that Peach Crown rib. About to give it that old trial run here. Oh. 3 very good option of ribs. Y'all let me know which one you like. Option A, which was just the barbecue sauce, Granny Moore's good rub. Option B, just the gang steer rub, no sauce. Or option C, number 3, the hot for peacher, along with that peach crown. All 3 very good ribs. I kind of think I'm leaning toward that naked though. Just option B, number 2. Very good ribs. So y'all please let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you think of the ribs. As always, y'all please like, subscribe, and we'll see y'all later.